Welcome to the latest episode of the 7% Solution, part of the Prognosis Negative podcast network. This is Sean.
This is Josh.
This is Eric.
And tonight we're going to talk about the classic Pursuit to Algiers.
Yes.
Or as the Blu-ray calls it, Sherlock Holmes Pursuit to Algiers.
It's not like Sherlock Holmes and the Pursuit to Algiers. It's just Sherlock Holmes Pursuit to Algiers. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but is Doctor Who planning a musical-only episode? Like a Buffy-style musical? Have you guys heard that?
After you mentioned it online...
Why are you bringing this up right now?
There's a reason I'm bringing it up.
Yes, I get the connection. But after you mentioned the Doctor Who thing, I looked into it, and there's definitely been rumors abound since earlier this year. Nothing confirmed, but yes.
Well, this is as close as we're going to get to a Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes musical episode.
Okay.
There's a lot of music.
Yeah. If you guys enjoy Home Sweet Home, maybe you want to watch this because there's a really good rendition of it in it, but we'll get to that later. So yeah, shall we turn this one on and start providing commentary to the kind readers?
That would be great. The readers.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We all are ready to press play. All three of us. Yes.
Yes.
Eric. Okay.
You hear that, Pablo? Okay.
All right, everybody, and count down from 3. 3, 2, 1. Press play.
Never thought we'd get there. But
by the way, the people who did the chapters on the Blu-ray, I think they just fell asleep in the middle of their job because I was thank goodness it's on YouTube. Actually, on my lunch hour today, I watched the colorized version on YouTube just for giggles.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I missed. It's not actually. Well, you know what? It looked a hell of a lot better than like when they did "It's a Wonderful Life" or "Night of the Living Dead." But whatever. So thank God for that I did that. Otherwise, I would have to show up and try to bullshit my way through this.
Okay, so as far as actors are concerned here, Gerald Hamer and Frederick Warlock are in this one. We've seen them a couple of times. Vera West, is she in here? Yes, she is. Vera West for the gowns. That's a sign of quality. Always.
Yeah, she's been on vacation.
Yeah, we needed Vera West. I always thought it was like the same Vera West that does other clothing stuff. Never mind.
Is Vera West or is she like David Agnew?
No, she's definitely Vera West.
I'm sorry, who was...
By the way, we've started again at a shop or something, because it seems to start at shops all the time. There's Olaf Hitton. There's Olaf Hitton, who's been demoted again to shopkeeper from when he was in Face's Death as the desk clerk at the hotel.
I always wonder how this worked or how it works currently in England with purchasing long guns, rifles, and that such, because we always know that there's like no firearms in England, but obviously they have them like when they go hunting and whatnot. And I've just always wondered how the rules work on that. Like, can you just pick them up at a shop, or do they have to be sold some kind of special way and kept some kind of special place? I don't know. Just wondering.
Well, it's the 1940s.
Well, I know.
And also, it's Sherlock Holmes, so he can buy whatever he wants.
I just want to know if shops like that existed.
Okay.
That's
all right.
Really what I was getting at.
I'll try that. I'm going to dress up like him the next time I go in to buy a car, and I'll be like, I'm Sherlock Holmes, and I get to buy whatever I want.
By the way, there's Chekhov's Green Emeralds. This is an interesting way to start it off. I actually enjoy this little thing.
It is and it isn't, I would say.
All right, well, we'll hear what you have to say why it isn't.
Oh, you want to hear the isn't part?
Yeah, the isn't part.
Because it's like a super obvious scavenger hunt that I get why they do it, but it just seems like it would have been so much easier if just the first person would have just told them.
Absolutely.
It turns into like a party
Jeffrey
game.
Musgrave is outside the fish and chips house here.
So I'm going to be with you, Eric. This doesn't make any sense. They must have spent a lot of time thinking of it. And by the way, I love here where Watson gets embarrassed by "Hello, Ducky," so he moves.
Yes, I do like that.
The only man in the history of the universe to do that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's always looking at the girls every single time, and suddenly, like he has a girl's attention and he moves over. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, if that were gay guys, you sit down and someone says "Hello, Ducky," you'd be like to your friend, take an Uber home, bitch. I'll be home later on." You know.
By the way, I have studied this menu. I stopped on this menu, and it has the weirdest things on this menu. It's like turtle soup and other stuff that you wouldn't expect. It just, I would highly recommend everybody just take a moment, look at that menu.
I know Bruce is just so insane.
Just trying to figure out how many staff meetings they had to have in order for them to arrange to tell Sherlock Holmes where to go.
I mean, this is crazy how much stuff.
This is like the level of David Fincher's The Game. Like, come on, okay.
Yeah, it's like a mini Nolan film starring Heath Ledger.
It also assumes that he gets every single clue.
Yes, and within 15 minutes, mind you.
Yeah. Oh, Fishbone Alley, of course. That it's clear. It's clear and constant. Fillet of herring, sardines, anchovies. Sorry, I'm just reading the menu.
I wish I was there. I'd be like in the background going, "Oh, I got to take a shit," and then he'd think that was a clue.
Redneck in London.
All they did was they got the paper and they just underlined 8 o'clock. That's all they did with the paper.
Just write a fucking note. Yeah.
Yes.
I like it. No one's gonna follow you there. Don't worry about that. By the way, though, I want to go to this bar. Look at the background. Look how huge and rich. I think the production design in these movies is pretty above average.
If this place was real, it'd be amazing. But then now with modernized, it comes across as like a Bennigan's concept.
No, it's more like a dive kind of place. It's divey.
Well, no, in universe, yes, but through modernized, it just looks like a modern restaurant with a gimmick.
Speaking of a gimmick, the light with Fishbone Alley on it is pretty classic. You got to have a light on your street name, which is just an alley. It's a back street alley.
Tradesman's entrance. I think I'm.
How about the real entrance? Should they have gone through the real entrance? I ask you.
Oh, but then sadly, one of the good things about the convoluted scene we just endured is that it may have been when I was most engaged with this particular movie.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. Yeah, because this falls apart pretty quickly here in a little while.
Oh, come on, guys. This is a classic. It's an absolute classic.
No.
Sherlock Holmes on a ship.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that. Every prolific detective has a story on a ship.
Yep.
In fact, next week we're releasing a Murder, She Wrote, the Cabot Cove Confab episode. That was never mind.
Please subscribe.
About a murder on a cruise ship. And it's like he shows up to just this place. Nobody could have followed him. And the guy opens the door like, "Hey, Sherlock, come on in here." Okay. I understand. They had to make it.
I would have preferred a note, and by the way, if he had said, "Guys, you could have just sent a note," I don't know what the big deal is here. I realized that when I encountered the Prime Minister of Robenia, which is a fake place.
By the way, Josh, you guys, actually both of you, did you notice the extreme sexual innuendo at one point in this film? It's 2 lines, one said by a man and then another one by a woman.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think I know what you're saying.
Sorry, it was just that this part's kind of boring, so I thought of that.
I missed it because I think I was on a Valium or Quaalude at that point.
You had fallen asleep by then. Yes, I understand.
Yeah, I was tweeting recipes.
Oh, by the way,
X.
his friends there, Anton Petzval and Matthias Czerny, you never see them again, so they're unimportant. But I did have to memorize their names for whatever reason.
You know, I did watch this earlier, but I don't remember this scene at all.
And they offered them wine, and Watson was about to accept that, and since Holmes said no, he decided to change his mind. So.
Wow, they must be watching me and Tom.
Okay, so I mean, this is not a bad setup, I don't think. I mean, again,
no.
I agree with you. Like, it might have been overly, but I can accept the overly crazy way that they got his attention because he's Sherlock Holmes and he can figure out anything, you know?
Well, to be fair, a 5th grader could have figured that one out. Okay, maybe not a 5th grader.
What are you talking about? Like the whole thing with the fish bones and it's a fishbone alley and the underlining of 8 o'clock and the 2 and 6. I mean,
that was
as a 5th grader, you figured that out.
Yes.
Yes, what?
You were very precocious, Eric.
Yes, a young person can figure it. Maybe not a 5th grader, but a young person certainly.
Okay, if you assume that everything is said around you is a clue, maybe so.
Yes. And the key part is the first clue. I mean, which is just, hey, sir, you dropped your paper. When obviously you didn't have a paper. So,
but in real life, if you were in that situation, there'd be so much noise going around in the bar that you wouldn't hear what the person.
No, you wouldn't have heard it, and it's like you have to. It suspends the disbelief that you would actually be awake to every single clue that's around you.
Yeah.
No, but you're not again. Once you get the first clue, then you're in. Otherwise, yeah, you're right. You wouldn't be fully aware. But if you get hooked by the first clue, then you would be aware.
Maybe.
You know what? I don't know.
Maybe you'd be looking at the wrong stuff too.
I don't know if you guys are the ones that I want to be in an escape room with.
Oh, I've done it.
Probably not with me.
Yeah, I've had the escape room experience.
Come on, Mr. Fuddy Dud.
I'd get out of Saw.
You what?
I'd get out of Saw.
No, my problem with my escape room experience was that the solutions were much simpler than I thought.
Oh, here we go.
So that was my crutch, is that I was like really overthinking things.
Guys, check out the paper airplane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is like a tiny Cessna.
This is the scene. I maybe not. Are we in the barn right now, you guys?
Yes.
Okay, this is the scene where I realized all these white guys look the same. Because literally, there's a character here that comes up. The guy shows up later on, and you don't recognize him because all these white guys look the same, except for the short guy.
That is true. That is true at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the short guy looks like Paulie from Rocky.
Yeah, he's like, or he looks like the guy from Princess Bride.
Oh,
the little guy.
Sean.
Changing 500. Oh, that was another one.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable. Yeah, that's him.
Wallace. No. Well, is it Wallace Shawn?
Yeah, Wallace Shawn. Yeah.
I think it's Wallace Shawn. I would remember it was Shawn.
Yeah, it's his first name's definitely Wallace.
That was weird. I did my Sylvester the Cat voice, but it worked.
For years, I thought that he played Mindy's dad on Mork and Mindy, and it wasn't until recently.
Oh, that was Conrad something.
Yes.
Something. I don't remember his last name, but his first name's Conrad.
We watched an episode of Murder, She Wrote that he was on, and Steve's like, oh, this is Mindy's dad. I'm like, no, Mindy's dad is Wallace Shawn. Like, I was in denial. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop talking about that. I'm gonna focus on, what are we watching?
And by the way,
Conrad Janus Thorne.
Oh, by the way, everybody subscribe to the Confab on YouTube. So
actually, we get their traffic.
Columbo Confab.
Somehow.
Columbo Confag on YouTube. Did I say Confag? I'm so sorry.
What? Okay, that's it. Caleb is like tearing his hair out right now.
Okay, so we have Watson. He's pissed off that he wasn't on the plane.
I'd be pissed off
But
too. I think that's pretty shitty. I feel kind of bad for him in that respect. And
but it's all planned. This is all the
I
plan
know
all along.
I've seen it, Josh.
Have you?
But the look on Watson's face as he watches the plane take off. Good acting there, sir. I bought that.
I love the music that they play here with the, putting the stuff on the ship. You're going to hear that music again when we do Terror by Night. It's like the things are going on music.
Things are going on music.
Things are going on music.
Yeah. But with this setup, and yeah, I watched the movie too, so I know what's going on with the plane. I could not help but think of the Prigozhin thing.
The what? The what thing?
The Prigozhin.
Do we have to go over the Prigozhin thing, Eric? Do you really want to talk about it?
No, I'm just saying I couldn't help but think about it since it's been in the news, and then I was watching this movie.
That was a jet shot out of the sky. So
yes, I understand. Yes.
All right, so here's this woman is
oh my god,
apparently American, sort of. Except she says things like "You're quite right, Mr. Holmes," which sounds like it should have been said in a British accent.
No, but you can imagine, especially the transatlantic accent being such a thing in the time.
It was like a Middle Earth accent. Is that what you're saying, Eric?
No, I'm saying that there was a lot of wealthy aristocratic American types who used that faux British language.
I suppose so.
Oh,
like Madonna, really, right?
Just like Madonna.
Here's Mr. Roper before he became the manager of the apartment, and Mr. Roper and Lennon.
You got that on the nose. There you go, Sean. Gold star.
Alfred Pettibone / what's his face from was it Scarlet Claw.
They need to do a spin-off series of those two.
Oh, they should, definitely.
Of Lennon and
Stalin.
Lennon and Mr. Furley. Oh, what's going on, Jack?
Socialism again!
Oh my God! I don't know what to do!
It's an uncomfortable scene here.
Somebody should call the police. There's been a murder. Don't pee yourself again, Eric. I will not have it.
Next on the Three's Company podcast. Gonna make him die. Don't do that. And don't lose it again.
And then we'll end up he dies. You and I are going to have to go into seclusion, remain hidden, and then we'll be on Unsolved Mysteries. If you know anything about Sean or Josh, call our hotline.
This does feel like the opening to a Love Boat episode, I gotta say.
It does, totally.
It's like, oh yeah, my neighbor has a van with no windows. I'm going to call the hotline. Do you think there were people that just called and hung up? Because you did that when you were a kid, right? Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, of course I did, Sean. Yeah, I did.
What about calling those numbers that they would advertise in TV? Like you can hear Santa Claus talk for like a minute?
No. How about 1-900 I want to talk to chicks? Yeah, I did that one.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it? Is that the thing on the wall? Is that a reflection from the ashtray?
I was wondering the same thing. It's a reflection.
It's a reflection from the light. It's a reflection from the light from the production team.
But they're moving the light? Like, I mean, they're doing that on purpose to make it seem like it's actually on a ship.
That's it. That's
a good point. That's a really good point.
Because it's a circle from a portal or a porthole with curtains over it on the tops.
That's a crazy detail for such what seems like a bare bones production.
I never noticed that. Oh, by the way, the music he's talking about, she taught him a little song. Da 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 dee da 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 dee. Oh God.
No, it's not that. It's something else.
It's that. It's that. Trust me.
It sounds like when I was walking down the beach one bright and sunny day, I found a thing that just like.
No,
Well, I just
I don't know what you're talking
right
about.
inside. No,
The old guy has a Bluetooth earpiece.
He does. He has Bluetooth. Yep.
That's crazy.
time travel exists. He's
so
like, "Fuck you! I'm just gonna sit here and drink milk."
She's at. You know, I love the 40s. Also, you just take a handgun onto the boat. Nobody cares.
That's incredible.
What would Holmes do? That's another show from the late
I don't know why I always carried a box cutter in my carry-on, like pre 9/11, and then a little bit post 9/11 as well.
These two guys, they're on the way to Algiers for their sallow 120 days of Sodom. They totally look like that.
By the way, the best actor in this entire show is the bartender here. So
It's
just pay attention.
it's chocolate pudding.
Manja.
Ron DeSantis reference. Anyway, never mind.
No, it's sallow.
By the way, he just drank that thing like in seconds. Okay,
Hell
good.
yeah.
Okay.
It was
Hell yeah.
1945. Like old men. That's how.
He had nothing
that's
to
how
do. So
he's on the ship. You know,
a small gray
why not?
plane, 3 white stripes. Holmes is dead, you guys. Guys, Holmes is dead.
What?
He's dead. Holmes is dead. He was on the plane.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a sad moment, you guys, because he's clearly dead.
It is a very special episode of Sherlock Holmes.
Wow, they have the rear projection through the.
This is when they killed him off. You know, they figured they could continue going, and Basil Rathbone said, "I don't want to do this anymore." So you know, they killed him off.
That's actually pretty good rear projection again for this
It's really good.
zero budget film.
That's really good, even though it's way too low. But that's okay.
We should. You know what, guys? This makes me think. We should all go on a cruise together.
Oh, it'll be my first in my life.
What cruise should we go on, Sean? What do you think?
Well,
Should we go on like? Is it going to be like Caribbean?
let's go to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
It could. I would say not Caribbean. I would say I love the cruise to Alaska.
You want to go? Okay, so let me get this straight. You want to go to Miami and cruise to Alaska from Miami?
Oh no! That cruise comes out of L.A. I think.
So we go through like the Panama Canal. Is that how we're going to do this?
No! I misspoke. The cruise from Atlanta comes, or the cruise to Alaska.
Atlanta? There's a cruise to Atlanta? That would be wild.
No, there's no cruise to Atlanta. Okay. You know what? I think
Atlanta's landlocked, isn't it?
Yeah, I say we start in Florida and then go around Cape Horn and then make our way up to Alaska.
No, that's why they have the canal, Eric. You don't need to go all the way down.
Yeah,
through
I
Cape
want to go
Horn.
the long way.
I want to go the long way. Go through the Cape of Good Hope and then come around. Go through the Rock of Gibraltar. Oh, by the way, we're going that way, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah, it is on the way to Algiers.
Yeah.
The Rock. Oh, they show it later on. Yeah. So apparently Watson is such a dick that he doesn't recognize his nephew.
That's not his nephew.
No,
That's the king. Supposedly.
no, it's not. It's a stand-in.
It's a
for the
stand-in,
king.
yes, but he's like, why do you say he doesn't recognize him? He's not actually his nephew. I'm confused.
The nephew's the
Okay.
cover story, right?
I swear,
Nephew's the cover story.
I thought like Watson was like, who is this? And Sherlock's like, oh, this is your nephew, Nicholas Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they just gave him his nephew's name.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
standing in for the king.
So where'd he find this? Where'd he find this boy? Is he one of the irregulars? And he groomed.
He's just sort of an act. He's playing the king.
Okay. Well, yeah, but where did he get him?
An interesting line of thought, but not essential to the show.
But he's not the real king?
No, he's not. No, the real king is the steward.
Oh,
Hello?
gave it away. You just spoilers. Spoilers.
I'm not going to do spoilers in a show that's almost 100 years. I'm sorry, a movie that's almost 100 years old.
It's 80 years old,
yes,
and yes,
Eric.
it is.
Eric, He is not the king. The king is actually the steward. Did you? I thought you watched this beforehand.
Yeah, I know, but I faded.
Okay, all right, all
Okay.
right. So just for the
By,
purpose of this,
by
this
faded,
guy,
he means
this
I
guy
played
is
Candy Crush.
this guy is playing the king. Okay,
Uh-huh.
who is
Okay. All
also
right.
playing at the same time Nicholas Watson, his
Okay.
nephew, which suddenly appeared on the ship after they sailed, which doesn't make any sense.
No, but wasn't it like planned by design, just like Sherlock being there
It
himself?
was Sherlock's plan all along was to do this. That
Yes,
said,
yes.
that said, how come they never showed up at any of the meals earlier? Number one. Number two, who was in the plane that got shot down? Because they died as a result of all this nonsense.
That was Bane's brother.
Right.
This is comic strip talk of which I know nothing.
Love takes command, and before he's through, it's I love you.
Gentlemen, tomorrow I would suggest scheduling a lung exam because I think we're going to get cancer from watching this.
He's drinking again, by the way. The greatest part of this is how many drinks Watson has, and you're supposed to have a drink every single time he has a drink.
Do you think people were just always drunk back then? It was like, hey, we won the war. Let's have something to drink.
It would not shock me that everybody was drinking pretty heavily. It would not
Yeah,
shock me.
probably.
Yeah.
And smoking, and all of them died like in their 70s.
Yeah, smoking and drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? They all lived. They all lived into their 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Not all of them.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Do you think that was on purpose, like they did that when he dropped it there? Like, or do you think that they just took the take on that one?
I was wondering about that. I really think that moment may have been improvised. I thought it was supposed to be something when I saw it.
But it never ended up being really anything.
He says something extremely stupid, which is, "Oh, I hope it didn't hurt you." I think that may have been Nigel talking to the actress.
By the way, had we seen this actress before?
No, she has not shown up in a Sherlock Holmes yet.
Yeah, because she looks mighty special to me.
She is special. Actually, she gets more special later. Actually, when her hair goes down, she is stunning. Not to say that she's not stunning now, but
she also has like a face that looks like contemporary or modern, more so than you know what I mean.
By the way, the steward that we've been talking about as being the real king, the steward was in Hound of the Baskervilles. He played Stapleton.
Oh, I don't remember Hound of the Baskervilles, girl.
That was 11 movies.
Did we watch? Yeah, but that was also like 7.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When we recorded that, Robin Williams had been dead for like 3 years.
No, he was still alive when we recorded that one. Oh, there she is. There she is with her hair down.
She's pretty, I guess.
Stop it, Sean. You have no judge of this type of thing. But she is carrying that stupid case with her.
Doesn't she look like a modern person in 40s makeup and hairdo?
She reminds me very much of...
You're right. Humans didn't look the same back in the 40s. I remember that.
Mary Steenburgen, maybe?
Really?
I'm not sure, but I think the chessboard is misplaced. Like it's 90 degrees off. Like,
doesn't look misplaced to me.
No, it's positioned wrong. Let me confirm before I...
Oh, is this the fog scene?
Yeah, the fog gives it away, Sean. So, no, I'm just kidding.
No, there's one scene where they do like a whole bunch in the fog.
No, I did like this. Like, there was a show that came out last year on Netflix that nobody watched except for me, called 1899. It's a German sci-fi-ish show, but it takes place in 1899.
Oh, yeah.
And it all takes place on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
I thought that was a Yellowstone version.
No, that's 1883. But 1899. It's a fantastic production, like production wise. And this reminded me, there's a scene where they're like on the cruise ship and it's fog everywhere. So yeah, that was a good show. Sad it got canceled.
because you were the only one that watched it, so that's the reason
Right.
why.
Right. That is the reason why. But yeah, so the chessboard was misplaced because I always look for this now in movies and shows. Whenever you set up the chessboard, um, as you're facing the board, regardless of which player you are, the white square should be in the bottom right hand corner, and the black square should be in the bottom left hand corner. But if
Why?
you turn the because otherwise the king and queen will be on the wrong squares when you set up the board.
Oh, that's
And
really good. That's
and so
very observant of you.
and I noticed it was correct when they did the big chessboard in the mansion film, but on this one they had the black square in the bottom right, so they were playing like a totally jacked up game of chess.
That was Sherlock Holmes faces death.
Yes.
You kind of scared me there for a second. I thought Caleb was on the call.
Totally, Caleb.
Yes, I'm doing my Brian De Palma retrospective.
By the way, is he saying what you were thinking, Sean, about the sexual innuendo?
Oh my god, I missed it. Yes, this is it right here.
He says it gets you just as wet.
Yes, and then she follows it up. Isn't it tremendously large or something like that?
Something. I don't feel my nose.
I forget. Yeah, that was a
We were
good
doing
one.
a commentary. I would rewind it, but yeah, he says something like, "Oh, it gets you all wet out here," and she says, "Yes," and it's tremendously huge or something. It was like, okay.
I don't think she said anything about anything being tremendously huge, but
She did. She did.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, and then she said,
But I might have missed it, Sean. I've only watched this 583 times. I'm just
but
kidding.
then and then she said BBC is my favorite, but I wasn't sure what that meant. It was weird.
She said, "Come, my dear, good brisk walk. It's like just to get out of there." Appears that someone's been careless, Watson, and left that thing that's already dangerous as it is. You know,
This point in the film right here is when the last chapter of the scene selection starts. So, like, the first half of the film, there were like 5 chapters. The second half of the film, oh, we got bored. We had to put this thing to the press. And
again, we're going with the drinks. Somebody's got a glass of milk, and she's serenading him.
who's drinking milk, by the way?
Oh, it's the lady with the gun drinking.
Oh, okay, the red herring.
Yeah, red herring, definitely. Lots of red herrings in this. That get all the red herrings get like easily resolved quickly, like very quickly.
Like these two guys, the sallow guys, they're obvious red herrings.
Yeah,
they're just like.
And Holmes is he's playing chess with just some rando.
That's what you do, though. I think. In like, I'm just saying. I saw the Queen's Gambit. I don't know.
Oh, did you watch it?
Same movie.
Yeah, season 2's coming up.
Oh, I didn't know there was going to be a season 2.
Yeah. Deep down here inside me.
Yeah, Eric, that's the type of movie that I wish they would release as like one of those 3-hour epics. I think it would have done really well. In fact, be like an Oscar contender, but instead,
Oh, wow.
kept it to. Yeah, I think that would have done well in the theaters if it was.
By the way, guys, this is really interesting too because
I'm
you've never
really
been on a
sorry.
cruise ship.
I am so sorry, but that movie wasn't as good as Pursuit of Algiers. I'm sorry, Pursuit
Two.
Algiers 2.
That
This is something that never happens on a cruise ship, which is they just stop for no reason.
except in 1899.
Did they stop in the 1899 show?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
And they probably used a lot of the same tropes as this movie.
Yeah. Well, it almost caused a mutiny on that show because everyone wanted to get to New York.
They what's interesting, they're outside Portugal, right? Portugal's the
Yes.
land that they see.
Yes.
And I think it's interesting, Watson and Holmes see it, and then they walk off, and as they walk off, you see all the people that were at the party come out onto the deck to look at it.
Yes.
And it just seems silly, but I totally get it. Like, wow, you get to see another country from, it's not just like, streaming in your home TV. You've never seen this before. Okay.
But it's weird because the enemy had to have realized they weren't on the plane, and so they arranged through the cruise to stop. And I mean, they must have had to pay somebody off.
Yeah, somehow they. Yeah, I was thinking they must have somehow outfoxed Holmes for this all to work.
Nobody outfoxes Holmes. Well, that's the problem with the story. I mean,
3 passengers. I mean, it's weird. It's just
You don't usually see, or at least I haven't noticed many projection shots such as this one, which I think is rather unique and a bit daring. Because you see it like with stuff like the sky or water or streetcars, but to see it be it's supposed to be like an extension of the set or the front of the ship. I think that's very interesting.
it's good too. This one is good because the ocean is at the right level versus what we saw earlier.
I thought, man, that's like a really. I mean, again, maybe they've used this stock scene like in several films, but that's above and beyond. And it's so funny because it reminds me of modern special effects now with the LCD walls or the volume, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Because this is exactly how they do the modern effect nowadays, except they use LCD screens instead of rear projection. It's fascinating.
It is fascinating. I mean, they clearly, and this is not a set. I mean, they're clearly on a boat right now, right?
Totes my goat.
oh yeah, this is one of those where they did it on location. The
Yeah.
producer was like, "Let's go to the Caribbean, get in a ship right now."
By the way, the of the 3 passengers, they all have their own sort of character, which comes very quickly. Like you understand that they're all very different very quickly. And
It's called Two Dimensions.
the big guy, the guy who's huge, I always used to think that it was the creeper actor, but it's not because he's so huge.
No, it's not. Can't remember the guy's name. Hayden
Rondo Hatton.
Rondo Hatton. Yes. No, this is this actor's name. He's got a Willie
Wee Willie Davis.
Yes. He was the one that I looked up because I'm like, wow, I'll bet you anything he is not small at all. And of course, yeah, they're being ironic. And the king here, who's playing like a steward, kind of reminds me of like a poor man's Paul Newman.
He does, doesn't he? He does kind of have that
Yeah.
look.
And I love that if you look at the doorway there, on the back of the door is like the hotel rules.
Yep.
Still have it today. They still have it today. Some things just don't change.
Yep, they sure do. And by the way, what a coinkydink that these 3 guys were in the room across from
Oh yeah,
Holmes.
yeah.
Coincidence. And somehow, some way, they got to the coffee here, which I don't understand how they would have been able to do that.
Yeah, so the cream didn't dissolve, which means it's poison, or was it the cream that neutralized the poison? I wasn't drunk or anything when I watched this, so I don't understand why.
No, it broke the fat up to globules, kind of like what we saw in House of Fear.
Okay.
It's basically the same kind of thing where the liquid doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Because it looks like there's butter in your coffee or whatever.
Yes, this is a weird thing I've noticed because I use real creamer in my coffee these days, and I notice when the cream gets close to expiring, I can tell because when I pour it in my coffee, it looks exactly like what Holmes is describing. And so I thought, is my coffee poison?
By the way, we are sponsored today, guys, by Nescafe creamer.
Nescafe.
Yeah, goodbye, Sanka.
Josh never asks for a second cup of coffee at home.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Okay, shuffleboard. Always an exciting.
I actually like this scene, you guys.
Oh, young Frank Sinatra in this.
I love this scene. I don't know why I love it. I just do. And I don't know why I love it, but I just do.
There's a lot of witty banter here.
Yeah, there's great banter here. It's like they know they're against each other, and they're just like quipping each other, like James Bond style.
Yes, or I dare say Columbo style.
No, Mr.
Columbo style, yep.
I expect you to die.
I expect you to die, Mr. Bond.
And this dude's just, he's chilling out. He's just reading. That's 10-year-old me on a cruise. Finally, I can just sit wherever I want and read a book and not be bothered.
You look just like Wally Cleaver.
Sean, you were such a precocious child.
And then I found drama in the theater.
No. If I was a young lad, I'd probably be running around all over the ship.
Yeah, that's what I would be doing too. But there's not a lot of entertainment for kids on this ship. So, like...
Well, that reminds me of my childhood, though, so I would have fit
Plus,
right in.
this is 1945, so pretty much if you want entertainment, it's like, here's a stick.
It wasn't really even a passenger ship. It was like mostly a cargo ship that had passengers.
You could, which you can still do, I think. I think you can book on a cargo ship to be a passenger if you want to.
That's how I lost my virginity.
Except I knew he was going to come up with one. No, but like if you want to have fun on a cruise, you want to go on a cruise ship.
Oh yeah,
because this is, and have you guys been on a cruise before?
No, I said earlier, never.
You've never been on a cruise? Sean, have you been on a cruise?
I'm telling you.
I'm white entitlement here. White entitlement.
That is Frank Sinatra circa 1929 on the left.
No,
I have also been on a couple of Caribbean cruises, and they were drink and eat fests.
Basically. Oh God, yes.
I mean, basically drinking and eating all times of day.
Yes, if I go on a cruise, I expect to die and not come home.
You're going to die, Mr. Bond. Yes.
There's no way I'm going to survive that.
I had the drink plan and everything, and fuck me, I could have just, I was drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning, basically. So
I'm totally going overboard.
Yes. Here too. Yeah. Oh, wait. I know what's going to get me out of bed. A Bloody Mary. I could just go down the thing and say, hey, Julio, make me a Bloody Mary.
Yeah. Hey, Julio.
Sit there like I'm at home. You know
what? You give Julio $20 on the first day, and you're like, hey, Julio, I'm Josh. Here's $20. You're going to hook me up. And so I would have a drink in my hand without even asking for it. Fantastic.
Creepy shot. Oh my God.
I think all this is wasted on Eric because he'd be like, no, it's okay. I'll do the juice plan or whatever.
The juice plan.
What?
The soda plan.
No, I'm telling you, I'm dying by going overboard involuntarily.
Somebody's going to throw you overboard?
You're not going to fall overboard. You're not going to.
No, I'm going to get drunk and wasted and accidentally slip over.
It's really hard to do that. You really have to make yourself go overboard on these ships.
Jesus Christ, Eric. I don't know where you come from all these delusions.
These are delusions?
You know how drunk you would have. You just don't. You've never even been that drunk. Eric.
Yes, I have.
Pay attention to the film. Pipe down.
All right, so they're quipping again at each other, like saying things like, "Well, if you don't want to play the game, you shouldn't play the game," or whatever they're freaking saying.
That's quippy.
It's quippy.
Double entendre.
Oh, you are a cunning linguist, Mr. Holmes.
It's 10:20. Wow, it's so late. Like 10:20, we're getting the night started.
Yeah, this guy here, he's the short one. He's got small man syndrome.
Mr. Merco.
He's got to like prove himself up to his buddies. Like, okay, I may be the shortest one here, but I can fucking like throw a dagger or whatever it was that he threw down.
I can throw knives.
Yeah, I can throw.
You need to cultivate, Sean. You need to cultivate patience. Okay, you need to cultivate patience. This is like one of those.
Yeah, what does he throw in there? Okay, he reaches down. He grabs. Oh, what? Look out! It's the captain. It's Bob Hope. It's the captain.
It's Bob Hope. Nobody notices this guy's glasses that are shimmering in the moonlight.
I don't know. Whatever.
Whatever. Oh, this is great. He turned out the light.
This guy reminds me of. He kind of reminds me of Martin Landau in North by Northwest.
Oh yeah, a little bit, but a smaller version.
Yeah, that's
He
not.
looks like Steve Steveling to me.
You know, I don't throw knives, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, I see the knife now. I didn't notice that before.
By the way, always carry an umbrella with you if somebody's after you. I love his jammies.
Well,
He should put on his little hat.
what was that? It looked like a spider just went down behind Holmes.
You shouldn't have played shuffleboard today. Oh, so your mistake was you played shuffleboard, you idiot. Besides, I was going to close my windows anyway.
There's something that I. No, I'm gonna go back. Never mind.
No, but we're playing the game now. Like, Holmes actually saw he was killing Holmes, and he's like, just comes out, plays more chess or checkers or whatever the fucking thing, and we're playing the game.
So we're going to be very English. We're not going to pretend that I know that you know that I know that you know.
Yeah,
That we're bad guys versus good guys. That's great, Josh. Actually, if we could have had more of this, that would have been great. And that's
really.
Yeah, I would have loved, because it's like Columbo. I know that you know that I know that you know. We should stop pretending, but we're not gonna.
He didn't even tell Watson, like, what happened.
Right. Well, yeah.
Like, so Watson had to set the injury, and
Now they're playing sideways checkers, by the way, just like they were playing sideways.
Yeah.
chess.
When you break it down, Holmes is a fucking asshole in this story,
he totally is.
especially when you get to the end. And we can tolerate him because he's Basil Rathbone. He's cool. He's smart and all that. But
He's more like James Bond in this one than Sherlock Holmes, in my view.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Because I think the quote unquote real Sherlock Holmes in the printed pages, he wouldn't have done what Sherlock is going to do a little bit later, which I what an asshole.
And by the way, the whole thing around the jewels that we're about to watch,
That's so
anybody who watches it in 2023 will feel like it's a little uncomfortable and cringy. That he sort of follows her and stuff like that, and
who's
anyway.
following her.
Oh my god, the extras that are passing past the portholes, they look like cardboard cutouts, like cardboard puppets.
They might be.
Wait, Josh. I want to go back to what did you just say?
Wait, where's the arrow pointing, Sean?
That is a crazy. That's a crazy detail on a dress.
At her left boob.
No, it's about what's about to happen here. Like he's gonna resolve the situation around herself losing it every single time Holmes is around, as if Holmes is a police officer.
Yes.
Right?
Captain David Letterman.
And that's the purser. That's Johansson, the purser. I'm gonna take my glasses off.
He looks like a Johansson.
Totally does.
So I think, okay.
So he's basically like following her right now.
He's pretty.
Yeah, I think that's super obvious when the person's like 6 to 8 feet behind you.
He's pretty cool to her right here. Even after she, by the way, I would not be able to stand there like that without holding on to something.
You know what? It would really make me nervous too.
Yeah.
But she seems fine.
That's how I'm going to be ended. Her carry-on thing, it looks like a ginormous billfold. Like,
well, it's supposed to hold music. It's supposed to hold music.
no, I get that, but it just looks like it's a wrong scale billfold. Like she's a miniature person. She's a Lilliputian.
So I'm sorry, this is a spoiler for those that haven't seen the episode. And
We've already spoiled everybody already, Sean. Go ahead.
Somebody put the jewels in there that were stolen, the emeralds. And I can't remember who the actual thief is, but she's afraid.
It's Hassan. Hassan, the guy the reason why she's going to sing for this guy Hassan is that she's actually moving the jewels to him through her, unknown.
Okay. Okay, so she's a mule.
Yeah,
But why doesn't she take the jewels out of her folder and put them like in the drawer in her cabin?
that's a
So
good question. The other question is like, by the time Holmes walked in the door, she hadn't even opened her music case yet, but somehow, some way, she realized what they were really fast, like almost too fast. Like, wouldn't you want to go to your room and like look at it and see if it might be something, or
yeah, I still would have left it in my room. I'm sorry. And by the way, this scene where he's talking to her actually is a really good scene. He does really good job of sounding empathic, and I can't stand her. Um, I may be wrong, but I feel like she might be an English woman putting on an American accent. Although why somebody would do that in Hollywood in 1945, I don't know.
By the way, I want you to notice something. These jewels that Holmes is about to take out of here. She's actually wearing the necklace later in the show.
Oh, really?
It feels like it. Yeah. Right now she's wearing these pearls, but he said, "I'll return the necklace."
What's this character's name? The female?
Miss Woodbury, Sheila Woodbury. You're right. He does a great job. This is Basil Rathbone at his best, by the way.
Oh, yeah. She was from Wisconsin. The actress.
By the way, this old lady in the background, this is me on a cruise. Look at her in the background. That's me. Except there's a little table there.
We missed the kiss. Like the kiss happened at the end of the shot.
I feel like that's Sean right now while recording this podcast.
No, not totally. Because I still gotta.
Look what she's wearing.
I don't think those are the jewels.
She's wearing the necklace.
I don't think no.
It looks just like the necklace.
They were all like a string of square shapes, right?
Mm-mm.
Eric, help me.
I don't remember.
They were teardrops.
Eric, I wish you would pay attention a little bit more.
Oh dear.
So Christmas crackers. Have y'all ever done Christmas crackers and any? By the way, this is set at Christmas.
Yeah, every Christmas in England.
This is set at Christmas. That's how long we've been on this ship. We're going to do Christmas now. I'm sorry. I asked who's done Christmas crackers.
Yeah, every Christmas I was in England.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done them before myself.
Yeah,
But here's the thing. Like, this is the most overly planned dinner I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, Josh, you're ruining my Christmas cracker story.
Sorry, go on. Christmas crackers, go on.
I didn't even know what they were until a girl that I was dating back in college. I'm just gonna stop. Oh yeah, I was, and she was into.
This was 2019, by the way.
Yes, it was 29. Yeah, but she would buy Christmas crackers from like I don't know where and bring them to Christmas, and we had so much fun because if you do them, you pop them, and there's always a paper hat on the inside. There's a toy, like a really stupid toy, like
it's kind of like a Cracker Jack box.
Wait, and candy, and it's just like a cute little thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And the way we do it in England is like everybody would be sitting around the dinner table, and everyone like connects. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the crackers go all the way around, and everyone has their finger.
Doctor Who.
Oh yeah.
By the way, the door in the background. If you go back to the piano, the door is like wide open, and like it's seemingly moving back and forth.
So Watson is singing a song called correct me on this. Hold on, I need a little bit more. It's called.
It's Loch Lomond. Loch Lomond.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, she sang a song called "Home Sweet Home."
No. "Flow Gently, Sweet Afton" is what she sang. Flow gently, sweet Afton, on thy green brae.
Okay, it's weird that you know that because when I heard her singing it, I could hear "Away in a manger, the sweet."
No room for a bed.
That's not what she was saying.
I swear it sounds like Away in a Manger.
All right, well, it's not. And
I'm talking about what she's saying, not what he's
watch
saying.
the door. Watch the door. Look at the door. Look at the door. Look at the door.
Those look like the TARDIS doors for the Fifth Doctor.
No, but it keeps going back and forth, and the lights from the studio keep showing up in the window.
See, this is why I can't trust you, Josh, but okay.
Those are totally roundels.
My own bonny breaks, where the sun shines
Why
like
is he reading? Look at he's reading. He's sitting there reading a book.
of Loch Lomond. 8 children. Look at the look on his face. It's so priceless.
I don't know how he could talk with that cigarette in his face.
Oh yeah, he looks like he's got a big doobie, doesn't it? I'm sorry, but it does.
It's like this weird looking filter. It's stupid. It's a dumb filter.
No, it's fine except for that he's putting it in the other guy's face.
She looks amazing there, by the way. She just looks amazing.
This woman right here with the big corsage.
Yeah, she looks amazing too.
Yeah, she's hot.
She's totally like 38 years old, the actress. 1945.
You know what's really funny is that I'm probably older than she is there. Like, I'm probably older than her right now.
That's probably true. I will check right now.
So this is supposed to be suspenseful, this scene, and it's a really good setup. And I think if the director and/or editor were a little bit more creative, they could have made this scene a lot more suspenseful than it was.
Oh,
Yeah, you're probably right, Sean. You're probably right.
Without music, like going dun 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 dun, you know.
So
whatever.
the actress with the corsage, she was actually born in 1880, so she would have been 65 actually at the time of this movie.
All right, so she would be younger. She'd be older than me, younger than me. Yeah, 'cause I'm 72.
Yeah, Rosalind. You're right. No, I thought you were correct because she does have that look, but apparently she looks good for 65 in 1945.
She looks great
she
for
does.
65.
She's had her hair colored appropriately.
Rosalind Ivan. She's actually born in the UK.
She's listening to this podcast wherever she is.
How is it that the purser got a seat at the table? That's what I want to know.
I don't know what the fuck. And by the way, what the fuck? You know, it's like, okay, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a purser and a cruise line.
I want to be these 3 guys in this empty bar.
Actually, yeah, I want to be one of those 3 guys. I take it back.
But you know what? Like the big guy, like he has.
That looked funny. Holmes like weighing the cracker.
Here we see Watson being a complete idiot.
I love this scene.
He really can't tell a story.
I adore this. The salt servers the boat. It's just become.
Whoa! Did that guy's hat come out of the cracker?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all folded up and you unfold it.
No, but I think his is humongous.
Yeah. They're not usually that ornate.
Well, I'm curious about the 1945 ones.
By the way, I want to just say that Holmes is a dick for saying, I do not wear paper hats. I mean, the 2 young people don't wear them.
No, but he's just saying he doesn't want her to open that one because it's a bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, if that bomb went off, those guys would be under the water just as much as everybody else would be.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, this celery is Holmes. The cheese is me. Why is there a whole thing of cheese on the table?
Everybody being British, and by the way, I think it's an onion. I don't know why he said cheese.
He said cheese.
They're being very British and paying attention intently, like they're interested. Nobody can yawn.
Well, I'm sure the story is interesting. It's about the giant rat of Sumatra. You know that story, right, Sean? The giant rat of Sumatra?
I know it's taken from something. I don't know what though.
It's never been a story. It's just been alluded to in the books.
Indeed.
It's like it's for which the world is not ready.
Yeah, it was mentioned in The Adventure of the Sussex Vampire.
I'm just not into small talk and paper hats.
They look like they're made out of cloth. The hats they're wearing in the movie.
That's true, and I like this projection better than the earlier one.
They've all been surprisingly good. Again, considering this really low budget production.
Well, that's interesting.
Okay, we have three. Take a gander, gentlemen, because these are three worst killers in the history of cinema.
They really are the worst. They really are terrible.
Yeah, he befuddles them. He throws the bomb in the water, and then he walks away. We get a shot of them all looking towards them, like.
But you know what? Nobody heard the explosion in the water. Not one person at the table.
These are the most incredible cracker hats I've
They're
ever...
pretty impressive.
Yeah, you can't fold that up and put it in a little.
Hers is like a kabuki theme. It's crazy.
Yeah, but she's smoking a cigarette right now. She's all health, and suddenly she's smoking a cigarette. I guess it's 1945. What can you say?
Yeah, she lived to 78, past the 1959.
There he is with this big doobie again, and his friend with his big hat reading a book.
She is divine.
She's wearing the necklace. She's wearing the necklace again, guys. Just saying.
If we have our Sherlock Holmes pageant, she's in like my top 3 of the Basil Rathbone era.
I'm gonna start arranging that tomorrow. The Sherlock Holmes pageant.
She's up there. She's definitely up there. There's no doubt about it.
Easily my top 3, maybe my top 2 of all the films we've seen so far.
I think Adria Spedding is up there on my list. I think A Woman You Haven't Seen Yet, who is my favorite, coming.
She's special. She reminds me of the actress in the Witcher series, rest in peace. The series, not the actress.
She likes him. She's got a particularly nice nose.
She does. Smells great.
You have smell-o-vision with your Blu-ray? Okay, now it just, completely it unravels here.
Yep.
I mean, it unraveled earlier, but now it's really unraveling.
I will say this is better on second watch versus my first watch.
Oh, that's good.
I'll give it that. But something I will say too, though, like my takeaway from the first watch was, besides the fact that it feels very stage play-y, because this one mostly relies on dialogue more than anything else, since they are, pretty much on the ship the whole time. But even more so, I felt like I was watching an old-fashioned radio audio play.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like this would have worked better in the radio format, this story.
It's funny because they did a bunch of radio.
But this feels like a radio script.
Exactly at this time.
For some reason it was filmed.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like that for this movie.
It's even possible that it was, because there is a lot of time spent explaining what's going to happen or what did happen, and it just seems silly. Like, Mr. Holmes, I'm experienced at impersonating people. I'm very good if I do must say myself. Like, why are you? Stop it! Stop saying that.
By the way, he punched him out like with one little punch, and then Holmes moved a bunch on the bed.
Oh my gosh, I have an old uncle. He's still alive, but he had one of those old fashioned fans from like the 1940s. And I almost lost my finger with that damn fan, like when I was middle school age. Not only because, they have the wide open grates, but, like the blades are like metal on top of that. So, yeah, I almost lost a damn finger on one of those vintage fans.
When I was in summer camp as a kid, I caught a frog and stuck him in one of those fans. And I have never heard.
You're a sick person.
Confessions of a serial killer.
I will never ever forget it for the rest of my life, and I regret it. And I'm sorry, frog.
Oh my!
Would have been dead anyway by now. But
oh my!
Yeah, it was just pieces thrown all over the place. It was.
Oh.
What
Sean,
the
Sean,
hell?
you might have changed time and space as a result of doing that.
I don't know. Also, I'm going to say that earlier this week I drove from Fairfield, Texas to home in Austin. I saw an inordinate number of dead kitties on the side of the road.
Okay,
And
can we change the subject?
I I just say
Where is he?
I feel bad for the kitties.
Where's Fairfield, Texas? I gotta look that up.
It's in buttfuck. Nobody lives there or goes there.
Oh, there's
They
a lot of
had a
parts of Texas like that.
they had a Burger King, so I went there for lunch.
Oh, what'd you get?
I got the I got the Italian. I wanted the classic chicken sandwich, Italian style.
Yeah, that's my
Right.
favorite.
Yeah, it's usually on the menu.
They gave me the round chicken sandwich.
No, the round chicken sandwich is terrible.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. But
Why did you say something?
the whole inside was all gristle. I'm terrified. I don't do that. Like I'm afraid to spit
Oh,
in it or
wow.
something.
Okay, all right, wait, guys,
And also,
guys.
wait, hold
guys,
on.
stop.
This was a Burger King connected to one of those Love's service stations where truckers take showers.
Yeah, I love it. And whores.
Guys,
What?
he wasn't the real king. It was the servant after all.
Oh, you're talking about the. Okay, we're still doing that.
Oh, I'm talking about the movie. Yes.
No, it's almost over because in about 2 seconds it's gonna be like, oh, they all got arrested. The guy playing your nephew, he got rescued. Everything's okay. Okay.
By the way, that Italian chicken sandwich, I don't know what it is, but it shouldn't taste good, but it does. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Yeah, they call those the classic. The ones that that's what you wanted was the classic.
You definitely wanted that.
But they gave you the new type.
Well,
I'm gonna order one right now. I'm gonna get on DoorDash. It's also good to eat right before you go to
Wow.
bed.
and you know what I do when I go to Burger King? I order the onion rings instead of French fries.
Of course,
Oh.
of course.
So delicious. Annoying to the cooks, but so delicious.
Yeah, who cares if it's annoying? It's tasty. Never even think of becoming an actor. Guys, never even think of becoming a podcaster. By the way, the end of this whole thing is not the end. It's
Right, that makes
just
sense.
been placed there because they lost the end for the original Pursuit to Algiers. That's my final.
Yeah, it feels weird. Like
It definitely does. Wow, that was Pursuit to Algiers, and God, I mean, I don't know what we've covered right now, but we do know what Sean likes to get at McDonald's. I mean, Burger King.
Burger King. Interesting. Fairfield is close to Buffalo and Palestine.
You said you liked it too.
What's that, Sean?
I said you said you liked it too.
It's true. I can't disagree. I do. It's also eminently warm upable.
When I worked at Burger King, this is 2021. They were amazing.
You worked at Burger King? I didn't know that.
No, I did. That was my second job.
Oh, sweet. I would work at Burger King. I work at McDonald's. I would do one of those jobs.
It was fun at the time.
I would do it because I like the process. You know, the process of
The process. True story. Whenever I would answer, I was usually working the drive-through, like over the mic, and I would do ethnic voices. I don't want to do it now on mic.
You did not do that.
Yes, I did. True story.
What'd you do? Like Russian? Do you do a good Russian?
No, I do like. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it on mic in 2023.
All right. Let's save this for after the show. I want to hear the ethnic stuff. Let's talk about Pursuit to Algiers overall. So, Sean, what did you think of Pursuit to Algiers?
You know what? I actually kind of appreciate. Now I'm so used to watching these, and I'm also used to being very generous in giving these guys ratings. This episode, I say episode, it's technically a movie, but it feels like
an episode.
Yeah. It's slick, looks great. The director I see was different from the others. I can't remember who the regular director is. There is a little bit of fun, as much as we gave it shit in the beginning for that whole thing in the bar with the, there's a fishbone and all that. It's just silly, but it is kind of fun. And I think it was Eric that you said, no, Mr. Bond, I want to kill you. That's exactly the type of thing it is. Like, okay, it's just, extraneous, fun shit for no reason, and we're going to put it in
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there. This also, but the problem is that if you do stuff like that, and we did see this in the James Bond movies too in the 80s, is that the more easy it is to break it down and think about how stupid it is. All right. I think that the rest of the story, excuse me, the rest of the story is just okay. Like, there's no mysteries here that Holmes has to figure
No,
out.
he's just protecting a guy.
And the best thing that he does is what he does in the Soho Oyster House. That's what it's called. So they're on the ship and they've got these three guys that want to kill them. It's so convoluted and it's so confusing,
Mm-hmm.
and it shouldn't be, because it's really, really simple. Yet somehow, okay, wait, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna think, if I don't like something that I watch, I ask myself, Sean, could you do better? Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But if I can, that makes it really worse. Okay. If somebody came to me with this script, I would take a red pen or pencil as a producer, I wish, and just make all these markups and say, do this, do that, do this, do that. It needed to be cut in places and extended in places where it wasn't. It's a really bad detective story, but it's still I'm not going to say really fun, but it was still interesting to watch. I didn't spend any time, checking my emails or looking at my watch or whatever. So I am going to be kind of generous here. I was going to give it a little bit lower than this, but I'm going to say 2.5.
2.5 emerald necklaces.
Yeah, 2.5 emerald necklaces. Yes.
Okay, Eric, what do you think of Pursuit to Algiers?
First, I'd like to acknowledge our sponsor, Rotten Tomatoes. There's only 2 critic reviews total for this particular movie, so it's not enough to get an official Rotten Tomatoes critic score. But it is 59% with the people. Since there's only 2 reviews, I'm going to read their little blurbs. This first one is from Dennis Schwartz, from Dennis Schwartz Movie Reviews.
He's only done 5, but that's okay. Keep going.
Though the plot line was stale, and this is one of the poorer ones in the series, the Rathbone Bruce team are always good enough to make things entertaining. So he gave that a fresh tomato. And then the other review by Michael W. Phillips Jr. of Goat Dogs Movies. This film is marred by glacial pacing, its own silly premise, and a snowballing series of absurdities.
You're right. It was 3 hours long. It wasn't.
Yeah,
It was an hour long.
you're absolutely right. I agree. Like, what he said is right, but it's an hour and 5 minutes. You're not watching Lord of the Rings. It's yeah.
So yeah, anyway, he gave it rotten. But anyway, as for me, as I said, I really, really didn't like it on my first watch, which, yes, I was very distracted for like the second half. But after rewatching it and having the plot be more clarified, I do like it a little bit more. I haven't decided if I'm going to change my rating on the Letterboxd site, because, yeah, I gave it a 2.5, but while I still think it's a bit weaker, it is knocking on a 3 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I agree.
So I thought that this one was one of the most fun Sherlock Holmes stories that we watched up till now.
Oh.
It was absurd in many cases, but so much fun. I enjoyed every moment of this. And you know what? I loved this when I was a kid, and I know why I loved it. Because it kept going and going and going. I liked every piece of it. I liked that silly stuff at the beginning where it didn't make any sense. I don't care that it didn't make sense, because Sherlock Holmes is not a real character. He's superhuman. He's superhuman, and he can figure out anything. He can even play chess with the board in the wrong direction. Okay, so for me, like I like the convoluted pieces, and also the fact that they literally tied everything up at the end. Um, this is one of my favorites. I go back to this one frequently.
Well,
And I think that it's just it's fun. It's not a great mystery. No, it's not. It's not designed to be. It's designed to be Holmes protecting somebody, whatever. Um, and that's it. And when you watch it the first time, and you realize that the king is not who's playing nephew, whatever, Watson's nephew. It actually did hit me a little bit when I was young and I watched it for the first time.
yeah.
So I'm gonna give it four necklaces because
Wow.
I
Wow.
That is a crazy score. But I understand if you're folding
Yeah,
nostalgia into that.
I mean, I think that maybe part of your ruling is based on the fact that this is one of, I don't know how many, this 17 or 18 films.
14.
14.
But 14. Yep. Okay, sorry. But if it was a film all by itself, in, let's say somebody else was playing Holmes as well as Basil Rathbone did, you probably would never have heard of it or couldn't
You're
find
right.
it to watch right now.
No, you're 100% right. And again, like when I do my ratings, I'm doing it against the others. I'm not doing it against movies. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, let's face it. Like for me, like this is just a rating against everything else
Okay.
that I've seen, and not against movies. That's why it's so critical to have you guys put your eyes to these things, because I learn a lot
You're
from
biased.
your perspective, because you guys know what good movies look like, and I'm completely ignorant to that.
Well, no,
Yeah. Eric and I may differ on opinions about what's good movies.
Yeah, it's no Dr. Doolittle, but
Yeah.
I wanted to agree with parts of what both of you said in your assessments, because, yeah, certainly if I had seen this in my younger years, back when I used to be watching the Charlie Chan mysteries on television, if I would have seen this back then, I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more, and it would have probably stood out to me more amongst the other Rathbone films. But then, like Sean was saying as well, while it has entertaining elements in it, it's a terrible detective mystery though. So it'd almost be better just not even to consider it in that way. And then also, I think my biggest beef with it is, even though I enjoy elements of it, this does not, like, Basil very much does not feel like Sherlock Holmes. It's not his acting per se. As far as the character, just does not seem like Sherlock Holmes hardly at all. And I don't like that. So I would almost rather this film have a different detective, or
Yeah.
maybe not even a detective, but somebody.
Yes. He risks Watson's, well, I don't know, not Watson's nephew, but he risks that kid's life. He lets the bad guys take him off the boat to the shore where we're told they're apprehended and the kid suffers no damage. We're told that. We're not shown that, by the way. Even though it probably would have been better for us to be shown that, just, through a simple whatever. But yeah, I agree with you, Eric. I think there's an element of fun here. I just don't think it's 4 out of 5.
That's a wild score.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. My opinion is it was enjoyable, it was fun, and I don't care if it's
Yep.
it's mystery or not a mystery, or just Holmes being Holmes, doing what Holmes does. You know, being able to figure things out very quickly, being able to set this thing up so that he didn't get hurt. Like that's, to me, that's red. I take that as red.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that.
Okay?
And no,
So like from that perspective, like because he's a superhuman, he figured out that we can't take the plane. We gotta go on this cruise ship and do it this way. And we gotta hide this guy as a servant, or whatever it is, a butler, if you will. I just thought the whole idea around that was brilliant, and So yeah, so it was so to me it was wildly enjoyable. As a movie overall, it's kind of it's kind of meh.
I
But
agree with.
from a Sherlock Holmes standpoint, it's I, let me put it this way, like there's a lot of we watched the last time we watched Woman in Green. I didn't enjoy Woman in Green. Like I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't joyful to me. I didn't think it was fun. This one was fun. So that's why I rated it as I rated it.
I can get that. I can get behind that. I wouldn't say 4 out of 5, but okay.
Yeah, but I just thought it was weird how you just the last part, the way you just explained it, Josh, because you said like as a movie and maybe not, but as Sherlock Holmes. But I have like the flip side. Like I would rather enjoy this just as a random movie. What bothers me is that it is Sherlock Holmes and or Basil Rathbone. Like that detracts from it for me.
That's fair. That's fair. Again, you won't find anything this having anything to do with any Sherlock Holmes actual story.
Well, I guess the ship is a little bit of a reference. The ship name.
That's I mean, there is literally nothing.
Well, yeah, you're right. But it's not just that it doesn't take from the Sherlock Holmes cloth, because that's neither here nor there if it's done well. It's just it does not feel like a Sherlock Holmes vehicle. It feels like a different character altogether.
Yeah, well, you're gonna watch in the next. There's two more, I believe, and you're not gonna you're gonna feel probably the same way in the last
Yeah,
two.
I hope we maybe watch some Philo Vance after this, but it almost reminds me of watching that film because it is Basil Rathbone in the Bishop murder case. It is Basil Rathbone, and he is playing a smart person, but he's not Sherlock Holmes. And that's weirdly how I feel about this movie. Like this almost feels more like a Philo Vance film than a Sherlock Holmes film.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Again, I mean, they changed the character so much in the Basil Rathbone stories. It's not the same character by any stretch as what you would have read in the books, or what you would have seen in the Jeremy Brett stories, which is much more close to the way Sherlock Holmes was in the books. This is a different Sherlock Holmes. And by the way, this you brought up earlier the fact that it sounds like a radio show.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
And I like that illusion because they did a lot of work on the radio shows that are very similar to this. Very, very similar to this. The radio shows with Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce, none of them felt like they fit into the Sherlock Holmes oeuvre, the actual literature itself. So, good pointing that out because it's true. And the timing fits too, because it's like 1945. That's when the Holmes radio shows were very popular. Anyway, that's that. Fun.
Okay.
Next time is Terror by Night. Exciting.
Yeah, the penultimate.
I can't wait.
all of your concerns about this one are gonna be the same in Terror by Night. I'm sorry, it's gonna be the same, but
it's okay. No, there's only 2 more left, so they'll get something out of it. I trust me.
Yeah, I never thought we'd get through this series so quickly because, having done the first 2 7.5 years ago now, and then zooming through, 10 films in what feels like 3.5 months?
Yeah. It's been great.
It's pretty crazy.
Anyway, Sean, why don't you close us out?
All right, everybody. I want to thank you for joining us here at the 7% Solution. This has been Sean.
This is Josh.
And this is Eric.
And remember, folks, until next time,
if you figured out that you've stolen a bunch of jewels and about to throw yourself over the side of a boat,
just stick them in a lady's purse. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Goodbye.
Hold on. Let me, hold on, because sometimes this is hard.
That's what she said.
I went back to No, seriously.
No, I know. I brought this up a million times.
Started playing like in the middle of the movie. Okay.
I brought this up so many times.
Yeah, I really shouldn't make. Why is there a square around the word on when that's not really the selection?
I know.
Foreigners created this.
That's yes. I wasn't gonna go there, but that's what I've been thinking this whole time.
I have the Laotian version, so it's definitely different than what I.
Is that related to the Laotian version?
Laotian?
Yeah, Josh, it's Laotian.
Is it?
Cancel! Bring me the cancel button.
I was talking about Leos, which is on Mars. Okay, why you guys be so racist against the people on Mars?
You know what? I'm looking it up. I think you're lying, but whatever. I'd rather talk about Sherlock Holmes than talk about your treachery. Okay?
After we discuss the conspiracy going on with the alien suppression, then we'll have some time for a little mystery.
The Morlocks are among us.
All right, let's get this started.
Indeed.
By the way, I'm wearing my "Don't Panic" shirt tonight, so.
Oh wow,
that's appropriate.
Wow, that's great, Josh.
Thanks, Sean.
Oh man,
I was wondering what you were wearing before, but I was too afraid to ask. I am so relieved that you told me now.
At least I'm not naked like I normally am on these podcasts. So just hand that to me, okay?
I remember at Galley, I gave Louis Trapani a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Hoovers "Don't Panic" T-shirt.
And did you ever see him wearing it?
In my dreams.